All right, let's dive right in and crack the code on one of the biggest hurdles for aspiring district leaders, the NYSTCE School District Leader Part 2 exam. If you're ready to make that leap, this is the guide you need. We're going to break it down piece by piece.
First things first, you have to understand that this exam isn't really about what you know, it's about how you think. It's designed to see if you can make a massive mental shift, moving from the mindset of a building principal to that of a superintendent.
And this slide just lays it out perfectly, right? As a principal, you're often focused on your school, your staff, putting out the daily fires. But a district leader, you have to take that 30,000-foot view. You're thinking about the entire system, about making sure things are equitable for all students, and you're playing the long game. That's the shift.
So here's the bottom line. Every single answer you give on this test has to scream district-level leader. You're not the principal of one school anymore. For the purposes of this exam, you are the superintendent. You have to think, act, and write like one.
Okay, so now that we've got the mindset down, let's see how it applies to the actual structure of the exam. Knowing what you're walking into is half the battle.
So the exam has two main parts. You've got your standard multiple choice questions, and then you have the written assignments. But listen, make no mistake, your success on this test hinges, and I mean really hinges, on that written portion. That's your chance to truly show off that system-wide thinking.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting, how they actually score your writing. It's not just about having the right answer. Think of it like this. Accuracy is them asking, are your ideas actually solid? Support is, did you use the specific facts they gave you in the scenario to back it up? And depth, this is the big one, is all about explaining why your strategy is the right move and how it will actually work.
So the first big content area you'll run into is all about being the district's chief instructional leader. This is where you prove you can set the vision for teaching and learning across every single school. And if you look at the official state framework, well, wow, it's a lot of dense academic language, right? It's all about theories and practices and procedures. It's super comprehensive, but honestly, it can be hard to figure out what really matters.
But let's cut through all that jargon. What they're really asking you to do boils down to these four things. Can you look at data and see what's working and what isn't? Can you build an improvement plan for the entire district? Can you line up curriculum, testing, and equity? And of course, can you justify every move with solid evidence?
All right, next up, you've got to prove you can handle the nuts and bolts of the district. We're talking about the money, the buildings, the staff, and all the legal stuff that keeps the lights on and the doors open. And yeah, you guessed it, the official document for this section is also pretty hefty. It covers everything from operations to finance to legal compliance. Again, it's all in there, but it can feel like trying to drink from a fire hose.
So let's translate that. Your job here is to spot problems with money, with buildings, with people, and then come up with practical, evidence-based fixes. But here's the golden rule, and it's non-negotiable. You have to connect every single decision you make about resources back to student outcomes. Every penny, every hire has to be about helping kids learn.
So we've covered the what. The million-dollar question is, how do you actually put all of this into a written response that's going to get you a high score? Because it's not about just dropping facts. It's about structuring your thoughts like a true leader. What you need is a secret weapon, a go-to, reliable template that you can pull out for pretty much any question they throw at you. Having a solid structure means you can stop worrying about organization and just focus on your analysis when you're under pressure.
So let's build it step by step. Step 1, a quick intro that frames the problem from that big district-wide perspective. Step 2, name the specific problem and back it up with data straight from the prompt. Step 3, lay out a clear system-wide strategy. And Step 4, justify why it's going to work, always connecting it back to student success.
Okay, everybody, lean in for this part, because this is the most important thing I'm going to say. Step 4, the why, is where most people lose a ton of points. They just state their solution and move on. No, you have to explain the positive impact it's going to have on student learning, or equity, or accountability. This is what separates a pass from a fail. Now, you want to take your writing to the next level? You've got to weave in some power phrases that scorers are trained to look for. Using a term like data-driven decision-making isn't just buzzword bingo. It signals that you get it, that you know how modern leaders operate.
Here's another great one. Equitable allocation of resources. Phrases like this are like a secret handshake. They show the scorer that you speak the language of a systems-level leader who's focused on fairness and impact for every single kid in the district.
So on the big day, here's your game plan. It's simple. First,
Read the prompt and underline the action words. What are they actually asking you to do? Then, on your scratch paper, jot down quick notes for each part of our template: problem, evidence, strategy, why. Plug those notes into the structure, and for your final check, make sure every recommendation points straight back to helping students achieve. So look, you have the formula now. You know how to pass. But this is bigger than just an exam, isn't it? This isn't just about clearing a hurdle. By learning to think this way, you're not just prepping for a test. You're building the blueprint for the kind of thoughtful, impactful, system-changing district leader you're about to become.